Hello, hello. How's everybody today? It's another Monday. We're back in the studio again. Still painting. And I'm having a very strange experience for myself, and that is that I am cold. That doesn't happen very often. So I got nice cozy flannel on and giant cup of tea with the most appropriate winter mug. It's like a snow globe. I don't know if you can see that. That says "Let it snow." So yay, I'm in the spirit. Kind of, not really. It just seemed appropriate, and it's like one of the biggest mugs I owned, and I really needed some hot tea to get me going tonight. Alright, so we are continuing to work on this, this lady. She is on a cutting board. Let me take a sip of this. Super hot. My cutting board. There's what, well, technically this is the front of the cutting board. You can see where I repaired a crack. Lots of deep gouges and scratches. And although, you know, if you were carving up turkey, you could catch the juices. But it has these handles and it weighs like 15 pounds. It's super heavy. It's like an inch and a half thick. Yeah, this is where we are so far after polishing and gessoing and all the repairs and stuff. Started painting on here. I think this is stream number 3 of actually painting on it, since I initially did some of the repairs. Morning, Rookers! Hello! Good to see you. I am getting in the spirit of things. I can't believe that Christmas is a week away. It feels not real. I haven't done enough to get ready for it, and I'm behind probably, but I also am making a point of not caring to try to save my sanity. So, whatever gets done, gets done. And that's where I'm trying to leave it. Rouge like the color red, oh yes. How's you? I'm chilly today. Just tired and chilly. Like, you know, that nice warm cup of tea and cozy shirt. Although, who knows, with all the lights and everything on, who knows how long that will last. I'll probably get hot eventually. And alright, let me adjust my lighting a little. I want to get some, you can get these like diffuser caps for the lights, and I think that might also be helpful. That's something that I mean to do at some point next time I do an investment in anything and everything. So that will be a plan. Okay, so I do have a few more things, like stuff to put on here, and I want to again tackle like building up some smoother layers on her face, because it's just very rough. It's kind of like first layers and things. Yeah, so those are a couple things that I'm thinking of working at today in particular, and I'd love to hear what everybody else is working on for creative projects. I do have 2 streams alive at the moment, so if anybody at any point wonders who I'm talking to, I am streaming on both YouTube and Twitch. I am relatively new to Twitch. I'm giving it a go. It's pretty cool. I think that it makes a lot of sense to be on Twitch for this. When I first started streaming, like not quite a year ago, I don't know, I kind of went with the platform I was already using, so that was just where I started. Okay, so I went through my bin. I keep bins. I have a really big, like, milk crate full of old magazines and random bits of papers and things, but I cut out and have ready to go bits of imagery and all kinds of stuff. Like some of the things that I had out last week, these couple of images I pulled out of this bin. It's quite full, but it's really nice to have that kind of ready to go, so I don't have to just start fresh scanning through magazines every time I want to look at anything. And then I have another one just like this. It's just full of text stuff that I've cut out, so that's what I went through this last time to find some good stuff for. Was supposed to do art therapy and got sidetracked. Oh, you should just do it now. Why not? You know, It might be a little distracting here, but hopefully not too much. So with my concept behind this piece being, oh, and I definitely can dig into this a little bit today. Kind of spinning off of the story of Little Red Riding Hood. That's kind of where I'm going. She's got the red hat, she got a little tattoo of an axe on her neck, and some of the imagery and stuff that's going to go in here, kind of feed into this narrative. And the title is Thanks, I've Already Saved Myself. So most of what I have here is quite old magazine things that I picked out of old ads. So Everything Your Heart Desires, it was in smaller print here. It's in a swivel top cleaner. The thrilling new Eureka Rotomatic. I don't know if I would keep that stuff in. Definitely not probably the swivel top cleaner. Kind of like this thrilling new vacuum. Back when the kind husband would for Christmas buy his lady a lovely vacuum cleaner so that her days would be swell. I got my oil pastels and finger cuts, nice, and trying to do it. Love it when you pull out your snippets box. Oh, it's always fun to go through it because I'll actually kind of get new ideas when I'm looking at some things and have like other ideas start coming, things where I wouldn't have expected to use some things in. And I every now and again do have to go through the magazines and like cut out things that draw my attention for one reason or another. I have the main cause of irritation. Old ads are the best for this stuff. I have a little like back of the magazine ad for remove hair. And it's very tiny print. Remove hair instantly above and below the surface of the skin. Everyone loves hair-free skin. Your skins can be so much lovelier without that unwanted hair. Be attractive instead of attracting attention. Remove that ugly unwanted hair at once. Just return this advertisement with a 25 cents and receive prepaid a generous sized package of a true and tried tested hair remover that will remove hair. It's very repetitive. But yeah, that cracks me up, but I don't know, it just spoke to me here. A bad girl, bad little good girl, little girls and big girls too. And then this little one that just says, this is a newer magazine, of course. Pissed me off. Actually really like the color, it's almost like a very light pink. Okay, so I have to decide what of these I want to include. I think I would only do one of the ones that's the good girls, but I like the bad little good girl. Because there's the Little Red Riding Hood, you know, the big bad wolf, and yeah, that kind of thing. Oh, hello, Slim Chessie. How are you? Oh, I know. I see. She said Slim Chessie said I like how I use my hands when I speak. I'm very not crap over kind of a person. I have no spatial awareness. How are you? How are you? How are you? I like bad little good girl. Good. I'm definitely leaning towards using that, and then I don't know what else. Probably something else. And it's kind of very sloppily cut because usually I'll just cut them out and then figure I'll determine later how I want to use it and where it will go. I might just put it like right in the middle of things over here because I still have a lot to add, and it'll get buried in there a little bit. All right, we'll start with that one, and I've been using my pH adhesive, my pH neutral adhesive, but I'm going to go with a golden gel medium, regular gel gloss medium for this time today. Just shake things up a little bit. No particular reason. I'm doing good. Hope you are also doing good. Pretty good. A little cold, but pretty good. Should be proud. I don't think you hit your mic once with your brush last stream. Yes! It's called growth. Not only not hitting it, but not muting it. That's the real trick. I don't think I dropped anything either. Or spilled anything. Which makes me afraid for today. Nothing is safe. Okay, that's where I want this bad boy to be. Let's throw you in here. And as I'm fairly new with Twitch, I'm I will hopefully do. Oh, thank you for the follow, Slim Chassis. Do my best to like figuring things out as I go a little bit. This is my third stream on here as I'm incorporating that into things, and I'm trying to not be the old lady that doesn't know how to do technology things. I'm really trying to like figure things out at a good clip. So I will get, and I'm sure I'll get better. Sure. Okay, one advantage kind of to using this instead of the adhesive I usually use is it doesn't tend to not necessarily have as much buckling, but I also have to be careful about having enough there to seal the deal as well so it doesn't start to like pop up in corners. So just give it a really good once over, top and bottom, both layers. Not like that. I love the discoloration of the paper and everything. This one was probably from an old, it might have been a Woman's World magazine. The ads in there are kind of the best, worst things ever. From the 60s or 50s. Got you in background while I do my thing. Heck yeah. Go for it. Get messy. I'm doing amazing. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that very much. Okay. Hey, one thing down. Let's see. How about the weirdo remove hair ad? I don't know if I can even put into words why I love this so much for this, but we're gonna throw it on here. Okay, cut them out a little closer to the edges and hair. Let me, so you can kind of see, it looks like, I don't know if anybody remembers reading many magazines, but it's like those little tiny classified ads where you can like cut out for something, send out for a catalog or something in the back of them. I remember them. I think I remember getting some random like music catalogs from ads in the back of maybe a Rolling Stone magazine once. Was that it? Maybe. Man, kids don't know how easy they got it these days with learning about new music. Growing up in a small rural town, learning about new music was like reading magazines, sending away for catalogs, and going into Media Play and buying stuff that you'd never heard before and just hoping it would be cool. Sometimes it was. Sometimes it definitely wasn't. Okay. That actually might be all for... Nah, one more. We're gonna throw the Piss Me Off in there too, on the other side of this heart. It'll get somewhat covered up too. So stuff seems very like kind of in your face at the moment maybe, but it probably won't stay that way. I kind of like to incorporate these things and they'll get layered in over time. Oh my god, I forgot water. I guess I was almost... As long as you were having fun, that's what's important. Absolutely. Making a mess, having fun. I'm gonna run right out the door and grab a cup of water. I will be 2 seconds. I'm sorry. I'm back. I'm back. This is a very important detail that I completely forgot about. Water from my brushes. Luckily, my condo's bathroom is literally right outside the door here. Sometimes the ratings of the music in magazine was right, sometimes it wasn't. Yeah, that's true too. I remember I was a goth kid back ages ago. And I really liked industrial music, so that's where I would learn about bands like that. So what was the catalog? I think Isolation Tank was one that was really, it had like sections for experimental and noise and all these different things. Speaking of music, I have a new playlist. I switched from my chill music collection to some synthy music. So hopefully anybody's enjoying my synth music. So yeah, flashback to 80s. I'm not old, but I like old music. Yeah, I like all kinds of music. And it was really hard to find before, like you could just go online and listen to stuff on YouTube. It was kind of tricky if you didn't know people. You didn't know people who were into cool music. I had an older sister, but she and I were definitely not listening to the same kind of music back then. All right, so now we can paint. And I'm going to start out with my acrylic medium retarder gel. I'm painting in acrylic on this guy. Sometimes work with oil. I'm less experienced with oil paints. I do like to work with watercolor too, but it's kind of fun to work like nice and big. Quick jump in for I love the new music. Oh, thank you. I have like 80s. I was really young. Kind of aware of some music things, but I just have this soft spot for like 80s new wave and post-punk. That's good stuff. It makes me happy. So I'm sure I'll get sick of it and change it out after not too long. And I know that the way that I have it set up right now, I download a list of music. I'm using, what's it called? Why do I want to say epitaph? Starts with an E. Epidemic? Is that right? Epidemic sounds for my music. So it's like I gotta go through, listen to a million things and try to find things that I mostly like. And then I have to download all of them and put them into a folder to feed on there. So it's sort of a messy setup. I haven't, I guess, taken the time maybe to figure out how to... I know that if I use Slipstream, that I can stream through their music channels, but the reason I'm not using that is because you have to pay to use some of the services and that I have set up just through plugins right now. Especially rap. I can't stand most new rappers. I prefer Eminem and Tupac and Dr. Dre. Oh yeah, those are classics. And I think there's definitely this resurgence of 90s hip hop going on recently. I've definitely noticed that. Before I got into my darker phase, I think I had a Snoop Doggy Dogg poster in my room when I was like 12. That was the thing. Also, I love how you were standing up instead of sitting down like most art streamers. You're different and that's good. Oh, thank you. Ironic name, 447. Hello, thank you for stopping in. Really good. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I'm just getting my palette set up after gluing a couple things on. I'm using a fairly limited palette for painting on her. It's Payne's Gray. And yeah, standing up, I think when you're painting large, when you're working on in acrylic, like watercolor makes a lot of sense to work sitting down because it will drip. I have used it standing up, it's just trickier. But standing up to paint gives you a better vision of what you're doing. There's no distortion. If I'm sitting at a table and looking down, things could definitely distort. I've had that happen. And I can step back a little bit and get a better vision of what I'm doing. And it's actually better for your neck and your shoulders and your back. And I'm always trying to remember to correct my posture because I can have really terrible posture. Did I study art or is it a hobby? I did go to art school quite some time ago, and I had a degree in illustration actually, which I didn't, yeah, I did some illustration work and I worked in graphic design for quite a while. And now I have kind of made the transition to just working fine art and paintings, and I do pretty mixed media stuff mostly. Occasionally just an acrylic painting or occasionally just a watercolor. But my own work tends to have a lot of things going on. There we go. Okay, so I started saying this before. Sorry, I am ADHD. Attention span. Payne's Gray, quinacridone red, probably not saying that right, titanium white, and then I use yellow oxide. And then I had a little bit of cobalt blue. If I work back into the hair, that's what I was using there. So that's it. That's all I use to get all of this, all the skin tones and everything. I don't use browns. Not a fan. I just like to mix my own tones. So yeah, I went to art school a million years ago. I don't mean to be rude, but you look like you're about 25 years old. Aw, I love you. Nope. Not 25, definitely not 25, but thank you. Respectfully, art isn't really my thing, but I just wanted to say I think it looks really cool. Well, I appreciate that. Thanks for stopping. It's just hanging out. And like, for me, the reason I started doing the live streams like this is it's kind of like an accountability thing. It's really easy to get busy and caught up in doing the stuff like sitting at the computer and marketing and all the things that make you want to shoot yourself and putting off the creative stuff. So by having a couple days a week where I know I'm streaming, it is like, yes, I'm working, and I get to meet some cool people and hang out, and it's like a opportunity to kind of maybe co-work or co-create on projects or just hang out. And I definitely know that I like to watch people when people paint and stuff. It can be soothing. I don't know that my streams are very soothing because I'm a little chaotic, but that's just fun. I respect you for saying that respectfully. We all know the reason you get onto live stream is to entertain freaks like me. Well, yes, that too. Yeah, I mean, finding people that are cool, that get it, that hang out, and just like, you know, y'all my people. So that's really the best part of it all. But yeah, I think accountability and trying to find some kind of like community of people who just, whether creative, artistic, or artistic curious, or just chill, hang out, weirdos like me. Yeah, just trying to find my people. Okay, so what I'm doing now, this is my palette. It's a pad of paper that's 60 years old. I'm not that old. But it was my dad's from when he was really young, and he didn't use it for a really long time, and then I kind of inherited some of his old art stuff. So I'm using it, even though it's very wavy and brittle. I'm still using it because weight's not whatnot. Okay, I put a bunch of this slow drying medium on my palette, the slow drying stuff, because acrylic paints dry really, really fast. That is pro or con depending on how you look at it. And so by mixing that into the paints before I start painting, yeah, buys me some time. What is going on? Okay, cheap paper not helping me out. Okay, so I'm just mixing that into the colors that I set down there, and I'm getting it incorporated a bit so that buys me more time before the paints get crappy and tacky and unpleasant to use. All right, let's do it. We're all cool here. I agree. You think I think yes, absolutely. You're here, aren't you? Seen any good flicks this week? Ooh, I do have some movies to talk about. I have movies to talk about. So, you know, Christmas season, right? Gotta get on some... I'm not watching It's a Wonderful Life, although I did watch It's a Wonderful Knife. Amusing. Horror Christmas movies. One of my favorites, and I watched it again with some friends this last weekend, is The Black Christmas from 1974. Just fantastic, fantastic movie in so many ways. I really like it. I think it's a really well done movie, much less a horror movie, and it talks about all these very serious topics that weren't being talked about anywhere else it touches on, and I think it's just so well done and subtle. It's a RED 1 and 2 this week. Okay. I do think I've seen those two, but it's been a little while. Black Christmas number... You don't... Oh my god. Black Christmas is a precursor to slasher films. So if you think that Halloween is like kind of the first slasher, this came out 5 or 6 years, I think, before Halloween. So there is like this kind of whodunit thing, but it's really well done and really creepy. And it takes place, of course, in a sorority house right before Christmas time. And what's her name that played the original Lois Lane? I'm really bad at remembering actresses' names off the top of my head. She is in it. And the lady, if you were ever in high school and you had to watch the movie Romeo and Juliet from like the 70s, the lady that played Juliet, she's in it. It's like 23 years old. Very good. But anyway, they remade that movie twice. And I watched both of the remakes also this weekend because I also kind of had a migraine period, and it didn't have me completely shut down in a dark room, but I was not feeling great, so just watched some movies and relaxed a little bit. The remakes were terrible in their own unique ways. They were also rather interesting. The first remake happened in 2006. Favorite horror movie is Evil Dead. Oh, heck yeah. And favorite horror series is Ash vs. Evil Dead, which I've only ever seen the first episode. I need to still watch the rest of that, but the Evil Dead movies are great. This is my broomstick. Right here. Yeah, it's a little probably difficult to talk about those movies if nobody's really seen any of them. But what was like a legitimately well-made movie that touched on like autonomy and that sort of thing, especially for at the time. The movie from 2006 just goes kind of cheapo slasher, psychopath escaping from an asylum and living in an attic, and whoever made it must have had a thing for Lucio Fulci because there was a lot of eyeball stuff, like a lot. The number 2 isn't horror, but still, yeah, I really love the first one. I know everybody loves Evil Dead, the second Evil Dead movie. I think I still have a very soft spot, especially for the first one and how crazy that one gets. Yeah, lots of super gross eyeball stuff in the remake, and it had nothing to do with any of the themes of the first one outside of the fact that, hey, it also takes place in a sorority house. And they tried to like flesh out some just creepy things that somebody said on a phone call. Like it's not good. I mean, if you just like a cheap, silly, and kind of gross slasher flick, then it's fine. The second one that came out just a couple years ago, 2019. So they go and lean really hard into all like the social justice-y kind of issues that are in the first one, and go way off the rails with it to the point that it becomes an absolute farce. And oh, I don't know. It would just... I definitely couldn't say that one was good either. But they were both very different. A lot of callbacks randomly. For some reason, they decided to brand them. I get it with the newest one. but it was like an internet meme instead of intelligent discussion of the things that they were bringing up. So yes, I don't know. I love me some horror movies. I don't know why. Oh, an arrow set on YouTube. There was stale breadcrumbs. Thank you for the breadcrumbs. Oh, you don't worry about that. I'm not worried about it, but thank you. Alright, so I'm probably going to also work a little bit more on the background too, but I want to, like, I have such a roughed in area on all the skin tone that I definitely want to take some time to kind of smooth things a little bit where it needs it. But yeah, it's and I have to admit, I watched the Barbie movie. Favorite Christmas movie is Die Hard. Nice. I really like Krampus. I think that one's really cool. But if I were gonna go serious, do I like a Christmas movie? I think I would probably go with the original Miracle on 34th Street. I've never seen the remake, the newer remake. I've not even seen it. I don't intend to, but yeah, I like that. I like that. It's got heart without being like in all the religious stuff. No offense for anything, it's just not my thing. Okay. Check out my reference here that I have on an entirely different screen. Alright. Yeah, I also watched the Barbie movie just because it came out on like streaming. And yeah, I think my feelings on it are not super straightforward. My favorite cop movie is Lethal Weapon, but favorite cop series is Brooklyn Nine-Nine. It's been a long time since I've watched Lethal Weapon, and I don't know that I've watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine, but I know a lot of people really like it, so I think I will believe you on that. Barbie was so all over the place. Like, I don't know. It's hard to, like, you can't, it's a comedy. Some things were, like, super funny. There were some really good, humorous moments. Ryan Gosling did an amazing job. He was great. The movie looked really great. Like, the sets and things. And it does, like, address very, very small ways. Like, it's brought up how Barbie was, like, you know, toxic, problematic, whatever. And it's brought up and then kind of brushed away. Not, I mean, I guess at least they bring it up. The way that they have, like, the Mattel people in there is, like, I think that just tonally it's weird. I don't know if all it's trying to do is, like, open up conversations, but what's supposed to be satire, what's supposed to be commentary, what's supposed to be silly and funny, what's supposed to be meaningful, like, it's just sort of all over the place. And the ending doesn't have anything to do with any of that, really. Like, it makes such a point of bringing it all up and then doesn't really do anything with it. At least, I don't know. I guess, like, it was entertaining. I don't need to watch. I don't think it's, like, something you need to watch a lot more than once. Very eh. I don't know, I didn't have particularly high expectations or anything to watch it. It was just free and I was curious about it. So that was why I put it on. Also, I had the house to myself for a few hours. It's total money ripped out of the ass. Mattel is monopolizing gender equality. Yeah, totally. Good with names. I can never remember names at all. Kind of get lost in sadness, and now I don't know what we were talking about. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's always a weird thing when you find out that somebody that you get to know, like not personally, but just through, you know, watching them so much. When something happens, it's always very, very surreal and sad. Yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, the whole Mattel thing. Like, they walk such a line. There's the people, the heads of the Mattel, the executive board are part of the movie, and it's so goofy and silly, and they don't take a stand as to whether they're supposed to be, like, good guys or bad guys or anything. They're just, yeah, it felt kind of gross in that part for sure. Yeah. I agree with you. It definitely felt like that. Although, it was kind of funny watching that movie right after, like a day after seeing that, the 2019 Black Christmas remake, which kind of goes into the same topics in a much more ridiculous way, even if I could. It was hard to not compare the two. And I sure just don't know about what, yeah. Both badly done, like, meme-worthy, like, versions of talking about an issue. I don't know. So, I don't know that I would necessarily recommend it. There are some good bits, some funny bits. I never got any, like, I didn't really get an emotional heart out of it myself. I know some people said that they did, which is, you know, terrific if that's the experience you have, wonderful. Just not so much for me. Okay, I think I'm starting to actually get warm in here. Yep, it was just a matter of time when the lights are on. Alright, you know, little bits of progress at a time. A little bit here and there. Oh, this year sucks badly. Every cool people. Yeah, there's been a bunch of years that have felt that way. I'm gotta die someday. The yellows and blues in this painting are so good. Thank you. I call bullshit. We lost Matthew Perry like last month, and this month was Andre Captain Holt. Raceland, no one is gonna die in 2024. Alright, there we go. That's the rule. The tough promise to make right there. It just shows they're not cool, right? There you go. I haven't often been strongly affected by celebrity deaths, but I remember being pretty affected when David Bowie died. I know now that's a few years back, right? Planet Terra Art, hello, how are you? Thank you for joining. If I'm not mistaken, it was earlier this year that we lost superstar Bray Wyatt. I'm not sure I know who that is. Yeah, and the same regarding celebrity deaths, but the big one that stuck with me is Robin Williams. Oh, sure, that makes sense. I think that one was very impactful for a lot of people. And I think the reason that David Bowie got to me is not just that I'm was a fan of his music. I still love his music and things he did, but I think it might be a little bit of the timing of it was shortly after my dad passed from cancer also. And I think that sort of hit me hard that way, probably because of the timing. So, yeah, I guess it just depends. I think I feel that something's often a shame more than I actually grieve for people when we lose them like that, especially if they've lived a good life. If it's something, well, like Matthew Perry with drugs, that's a shame. When it's younger folks, it's a loss and very sad. But I don't tend to feel a lot of grief, though, about it, unless there's some reason that, like, some association. And even then, even with that one, it felt, I guess I should precursor that with saying that I'm very bad with emotions. Just bury that shit, right? All this dead talk. I need a fresh cup of beer back. Yes, first we'll change the subject. Enough of that for sure. One death I'm not ready for is Eminem. Oh, I think he takes pretty good care of himself, doesn't he now? So much sadness brought there because of me. No, yeah, we can just change the subject. It's good. It's all good. We can get into heavy crap once in a while. It's all right. We are all in it together. When I'm looking over there, I'm looking at my reference image. So I'm kind of going back and forth, pairing things. And this lady has an exceptionally long and skinny neck. And it throws me off. It feels like it should not be that long and skinny to me, but it's a photo, so I believe it. I mean, I don't always believe photos. As somebody who's worked with Photoshop for too many years, I know well enough, but this is the kind of thing where, yeah, I mean, I think that there often is some, even when you find your photo references, I like to use a combination of different websites. I would love to be taking my own reference images, but I just haven't had the resources and such to do that. So okay, hold on. Let me sit down my tea. My hand's full. I'm losing track. So that door in the back, it looked positive, right? The camera is cameraing. Oh, yes, good. Output looks good, thank you. Back, positive things. Lynell has an amazing cat. I do! Watson is amazing. I think he's napping in the other room. He's so much trouble. Love that little butt. Yes, pets are the best. Okay, I'm sweating. Fan time. Hey, I almost knocked over my palette, so came close. Very close that time. Okay. Where are we at? So kind of have to decide how clean I want to make things. I'm not working with oils. I'm not going to try to make this be like super super smooth. But it's like deciding where that point is of working, how much to work it up, how much to leave alone and let be. How much to let the brush strokes just be. How much to not overthink things. Oh, good night, Slim Chessie. Thanks for joining. Hope to see you soon. Let me see. There's always that little bit of like making it worse before you make it better, and I'm not used to wearing sleeves. So I keep thinking I'm gonna get my sleeves right in the paint. And try not to be in front of the camera and all the things. Okay. It's all the lights. Even LEDs, they put off so much heat. It's crazy. Okay, probably time to break out some smaller brushes out here and actually start working into some of the more detailed areas. So I think I mentioned that I kind of had, oh, can't handle the spotlight. It's true. I've been binging Perspectives on YouTube. They have a live stream 24/7 of their Fake or Fortune episodes. So good. I've watched some of that, and it's usually when it's like I wake up at 3 in the morning and you can't fall back asleep, and that's something that I have put on at that point before. Yeah, kind of like weirdly fascinating and addictive. Mr. Bug 99, hello. Welcome to the stream. And Ooh, yes. I can't keep track of anything that I mean to be saying. Yes, I was mentioning how I was like having migraines the last few days. Today's much better. But there's this thing when you get like chronic migraines called postdrome, when you're kind of over the pain of it, but it's like a hangover. It's like a migraine hangover. That's what I always called it before I even knew that there was a term for it, but it's sort of like you're just spacey and fuzzy-headed and tired. It's very annoying because I'm a little bit of those things anyway. So it's like I don't need help. Yeah, definitely was feeling that for a good chunk of the day today. I painted over a lot of this thing that's going to be the neck tattoo, and it looks just weird right now, but we'll get back in there and clean that up. At one point here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, they are like detective mysteries. It's so true. Amazing paint. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I feel so much for people who suffer migraines. Utterly debilitating. Yeah, it's not fun. That's for sure. Not for the message on top. Sorry. Oh, that's alright. No worries. I get it. I get it. It's all just gets to be disjointed, which is fine because that's how my brain works. So I totally understand. Every now and again, something that should make sense, however, I'll read completely wrong and confuse myself. So I usually don't assume. I usually assume it's me if something's weird. It's safe. Safer assumption that way. I was reading about, since I'm kind of drawing on the old Little Red Riding Hood story to kind of twist on that to make this painting. I was reading some of the stories and the history of them, and it's kind of interesting. There's it's my fault too. No, you're fine, Mr. Bug, you're fine. I don't think it would have occurred to me to see it that way if you hadn't said, like, pointed it out. You're good. You're good. Yeah, so there's a couple different versions. Originally, it was actually a story passed down. I think a lot of the fairy tales that we know were just stories passed down word of mouth, you know, not written down, that were lessons, kind of like Aesop fables and things. And by and large, they were a little bit more messed up. Like the first time a story got written down was by this French guy, and I can't remember his name, starts with P. It's not Pirouette, but it's something not so different from that. And he has it, the story, kind of like we know it now, except that after the wolf eats the grandmother and Little Red Riding Hood, the story ends and it's just a little paragraph about, you know, essentially being careful of strangers, especially for women. I'm resonating with the reds. I need the fire element in my life right now. Heck yeah! Thank you. I love it. I don't usually use this quinacridone. Sure, I'm not saying right red as a base, but I'm liking it for this painting. Yeah, the Grimm brothers came along. They added the bit about the hunter coming and saving Red Riding Hood and her grandmother. But some of the original stories, the wolf doesn't actually eat the grandmother, but he tears her up and then, oh, I'm sorry, this is gonna go places. He leaves her to be eaten unwittingly by Little Red Riding Hood. And there's like all these undercurrents, other undercurrents that happen in the stories. It's a lot about like a partial element of being careful of strangers. And it's also like one of those telling girls to be good young women, right? But not getting seduced into behaving certain ways and that kind of thing. So it's a little nuts. And the more I read about it, the more, yeah, it makes sense. And the similar kind of histories with a lot of the stories we know, the Cinderella stories, stuff like that. They started out as different lessons, and I kind of want to deep dive a little further into a lot of that. So much kind of awfulness baked into a lot of them, and some of them are really very, very violent. I did not expect there to be cannibalism. That was unexpected thing that I learned while I was looking into some of this stuff. Okay, where was I? Back to the painting. Sorry. Sidetracks of weirdness. Welcome to my channel. Oh, thank you for the follow, Mr. Bug. I appreciate that. Okay, so I'm gonna grab a slightly smaller brush, not to full on get into like crazy details, but just to start kind of refining some of these areas, especially to yeah, that's also things got weird on this finger and a little bit on the thumb there, so I will also address those things. Okay, here we go. Trying to roll up my sleeves. These don't go up far enough. I have them buttoned and I hate that. Hate it. I want to roll them, but these sleeves don't stay rolled on this shirt. It's like a nightmare. But they have pockets. I love her hand, the color, and the detail. Oh, thank you. It's just this fingernail that I've kind of lost a bit, and it got real flat. And the shadow here is a little weird. I think. So I just want to like make sure that things aren't getting too flat. There's a couple spots that feel flat to me. So over time I'll continue to build them and get them to where I want them. Alright, for now, what do we want to stack first? I'm mixing color and I don't even know what I'm about to go into. Maybe we'll start with the nose. I might not have added enough of my paint drying retarder. They're already getting a little... What time even is it? It's only 8 o'clock. My paints should not be getting tacky yet. Unacceptable. Okay. Seriously think I keep putting my sleeve in my paint. This is also dangerous simply because getting my hand really close to the microphone, which has a mute button on top of it. Terrible design. Seemed just like when I first was reading reviews about microphones, like, oh, that seems like a nice feature in case you just want to pop it on mute real quick, but I have an idea, bear with me. It sounds crazy. Roll the sleeve up more. You would be amazed. For some reason, these are super slippery, and I roll them like crazy because I want them to stay. Let's see. Watch, I'll do it now and it will stay. Because it's just like that. Well, let's give it a try. Again. I tried a lot of different methods. And I didn't even know until like a year ago that there's methods for rolling sleeves. That's a thing. Who knew? Oh. Yep, that's the end of the brush with the paint on it. Agent of Chaos. Ooh, I actually ordered new glasses. I've been talking about doing that for months. Finally ordered them, and I got notification today that they have shipped. I don't know when that means I'll have them, but I'm excited. Being able to see right is very exciting. Yes. It's always a little nerve-wracking ordering glasses without having actually like tried them on for real. I just used like the online, like, here's a picture of your face. You can see what it'll look like, kind of. I'm not entirely certain how accurate that really is, but going with it. I think I like that I just did. Just needs to be a softer shadow, mostly, I think. Whoa, that was right. Okay. He's a killer. Okay, so far so good with the sleeves. I'm hesitant to trust. Okay. Yeah, right in time for 2024. You know, that might actually work out that way, and that's okay. Start the new year with less eye twitching. That would be great. That's usually, that has become like a thing that lets me know that it's time. Something's not right anymore. Because weirdly, I only have, like, it's only one eye. My left eye is actually fine. It's this one. This one's the problem child. Which, of course, there's no symmetry in my life. Plans for Christmas? Oh, just family things. We will be Christmas Eve with my partner's family and our nieces. And on Christmas Day, we're going out to my mom's place. We'll spend the day with my mom and my sister. So we're not entertaining, which is nice because that's always a ton of work. Did that for Thanksgiving. It was very stressful. What about you guys? What's everybody? What are you doing? So for you roguers, what are you doing? Sounds lovely and calm. I hope so. I always love seeing. I love seeing our nieces. They are amazing and they crack me up, and they're just growing to be such incredible young women. Two of them are teenagers. It's crazy. And just the things that kids their age are like interested in and care about and all that is just super interesting and fascinating, and I never know what's happening as an old. They're officially old enough that we're not buying toys anymore. Rouge like the color. Not a hard G in oh, okay, that's what you were saying before. Rougers. 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 I don't do words. Rouger. Got it. Yeah. Reading is hard. Sometimes things click, sometimes they don't right away. As for Christmas, my fam do it the Sunday before actual Christmas because we all have our own families and lives on Christmas days. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, things get complicated when it's not just like you're the kids of a family anymore. Trying to work with people's schedules and when to see who and all that kind of thing can be difficult. So it's nice when things can be a little bit relaxed and chill and after all the chaos of what is usually chaos to do with like Christmas stuff, usually just spend like New Year's Eve anymore just at home, just not doing anything in particular, just hanging out at home, cozy and low-key and quiet, and that has become my favorite thing. Yeah, some things are getting worse, some things are getting better. It's just how it goes. Okay, keeping going. You're seriously not the only one who says with hard G. Sorry. I will get it. I will remember as time goes by. I will get there. I got a sister and 2 brothers and divorced parents. Oh yeah, that makes it really complicated too. We all come together with everyone on that Sunday, which is awesome. I just had it last weekend. Oh, nice. So then, like, the day all of you just buckle down at home, hot cocoa, and get cozy, although you might not want hot cocoa, I suppose. You said it's getting quite hot over there. Cup of tea for the win. Okay, I have some things to fix. Basically, yeah, I'll have hot chalk any temperature, any day, nice. I always have it at home, and I never make it. Never think about it. And then it will sound good and I'll make it, and then I'm like, ah, I can't drink it, it's too sweet. I'm weird like that, I guess. It was always, my family used to joke that I was adopted because I didn't have a sweet tooth like most of them did. I've always had kind of like a limited capacity for a lot of sweets. However, you put some like popcorn or something anywhere within my reach and everything's destroyed. Mr. Bug. Oh. Christmas Day, isn't he doing same shit? Do arts, play computer games, eat snacks. Heck yeah. Ooh, you bake biscuits. I love biscuits. They're the best. Biscuits are the best. And normally I make a lot of cookies for Christmas, and I haven't made any yet. And it's one of those things where it's like, I would like to. I will try to. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it's gonna be just regular cookies shaped like trees and decorated with white chocolate. Ooh, nice. That's gotta be pretty. Sounds very good. My sister is currently really into cookie decorating. So we leave like the sugar cookies and all the crazy designs and things. Like she really is into that and goes nuts. I, however, as an artist person, have no patience for that. That totally makes sense, right? Sometimes, who knows why? Why what? My sister, she's actually she's not like working in the arts, but she is quite creative. And she always was, whenever she did creative projects, very good at them. She also flies airplanes, and I have no idea how. That's another thing, like, I think it's awesome that she does that. But I could not. I know I could not. So it's very cool for her. There aren't a ton of like lady pilots in the airlines. Okay. This whole area, I'm gonna deal with that now. I spent a while to figure out what colorant I needed, but now I found it. Nice. I have different snacks for different tasks. Art snack is like nibbles, M&Ms and nuts, etc. Gaming, it's popcorn and Beakies? Bikies? What is that? I don't know what that is. Tell me. I love snacks. Also cereal. I can be like a total child and just eat them. I might have had one for dinner tonight. A bowl of bran flakes for dinner tonight. I totally... I love that stuff. I don't know. It's ridiculous. But it is the best. I still can make a meal out of a bowl of cereal. No shame. No shame. At least, I mean, I usually try to buy like healthier cereals and stuff, but except for around Halloween time, I always got to get me some of the, like the Count Chocula or Boo Berry or whatever I can find. Biscuits. Oh, there we go. My brain is with you, 100%. Gotcha. Okay. I need to step back from my reference for a second. That's kind of a weird... yeah. I need a bigger brush for that part. Almost looks appetizing. Ice cream for everything? I mean, heck yeah. I know, cereal's gotten so expensive. What is up with that? I buy the store brand. I always get the store brand. It's like half the price of Cheerios or whatever. Crazy. Groceries right now. It's out of hand. That's trio. Yeah, it's crazy. Every time I go to the grocery store, it's like, how does this keep happening? How does this keep getting to be so insanely expensive? But I do really like to make my own popcorn on the stove. It's pretty economical, I guess, compared to buying the bags, just in a big old stock pot. And then you can make a lot of it. And it's like doesn't have as much junk on it. But you know what's really, really good on popcorn? And this sounds weird, but nutritional yeast. Fantastic on popcorn. Sorry for grammar. I'm Italian and tired at 3 a.m. No worries, Mr. Bug. I understand. Being tired. No, you're fine. You're doing great. I appreciate your hair. It is currently just after 8 o'clock in the PM where I am. So it's starting to get late, but not nearly that late. My eyebrow's wrong. Not mine, mine. I have been a victim of the 90s plucking of the eyebrows, I will admit to that, but isn't that what I'm referring to? All right, that's better. That was bothering me. Okay. Crisis averted for a moment. The one downside to Christmas with the kids and such is just the wrapping of presents. I like shopping for them. I actually really enjoy that, even though I hate shopping generally. But wrapping presents, what a chore. And I've kind of like don't want to use like gift bags. I've gotten into this thing where it's like I actually wrap them and everything in wrapping paper instead of using gift bags. And it's just like making things harder on yourself for no reason. That's a dumb thing to complain about. It really is. I will be the first to admit it. It's just like one of those things, that ADHD overwhelm that comes on way too easily sometimes. Where very simple things that shouldn't be a problem become like these overwhelming tasks for no good reason. That's probably... a little better. Just keep not getting that quite right. It's one of those things where it's like for everything you make better, you make something else worse. Do I have social where you can follow my works? I do have yes, Instagram. I am at Lynell Ingram. Mostly like my name on here, except without the slash, without the dash. Yes, I am on Instagram, and I do post. Well, I dual stream on YouTube, but I occasionally do regular videos over there too. And of course, I have my website, which is, yeah, underscore, no underscore. My website is, again, the same thing, lynellingram.com. And that's where I have my portfolios and all that good stuff. So, 'tis all out there in the wild. I am sometimes very bad at it, at posting regularly. This is probably the thing that I'm the best at showing up for on a regular basis. I do need to do better with Instagram though. It's like as like a business thing where you're supposed to be pictures and images. That's the place. Hard, man. I do dislike the whole social media posting stuff, but it just, when you are trying to have a business, it's basically just a necessary evil. We're gonna get there. For some reason that upper lip is just making me crazy. You do amazing with turning up here. That's hard enough in my experience. Well, thank you. It's at least there's something that something that works, that I can be here regularly and accountable to you and myself, and it seems to be the one place where for some reason it's comfortable for me to just be here, which is nuts because it's standing in front of a camera. But for some reason that's easier than like composing a post of something where you feel like it has to achieve all these things. Like I just be my ridiculous self. I show up here, and that's much easier, I think, than trying to do the things you're supposed to do on other platforms. It's a strange thing. I'm sure there is some psychological reason that makes sense. I do not know what it is. I really should stop like doing that. Sticking my hand in my paintings, and I have a bottle of, not a bottle, a jar of paint water here for a purpose, right? Don't need to be consuming any paints. That should probably be the name of my channel. Don't drink the paint water. As long as you keep enjoying it. That's why I love Twitch so much. Just hang out. It's an actual community, not just posting and promoting. Yeah, I kind of agree. I don't even generally much go on Instagram too much these days. I've completely abandoned Facebook long ago. It just felt like it was becoming so toxic. It was not a fun place to be anymore. Even to try to just like do the promotion things, and it's just so uncomfortable. I'm terrible at it, and I think artists are kind of notoriously bad at promoting themselves. Everyone's so self-conscious, and you never think your stuff's good enough, you know? It's all that kind of, all those things that I think we all deal with on some level, right? It's just very human. But there's a thing where, you know, your artwork is so kind of raw and emotional from where it comes from for the most part, that creates this like added resistance of like not knowing how to present it well, or how to talk about it in a way that you think like who would actually care. It's all those awful things that, you know, you gotta not be telling yourself. Well, it's normal. You can receive immediate feedback here and chat with people. Yeah, that's the thing that I like to. You keep inspiring me to get on and stream, and I keep chickening out. Oh, just do it. Just do it. I don't know. What's there to worry about? Just all us weirdos out here. Yeah, I don't know why it is that feels. I mean, yeah, it's just the same things that we've all just been saying. It's less composed. It's just B. Nope, that was not right. Not quite, almost. Closer. I think it helps to not be precious. Like, if you're not precious about your art, then that removes some of the pressure of needing to show up a certain way or perform a certain way when you're creating. That's something that I think helps. Otherwise, I'm trying to think and paint at the same times, and sometimes it doesn't go so well. Okay, let's see. Little tiny tweaks and fussing. Lots of fussing. What's there to worry about? Next minute, Aracet arrested for cult activity. You got that? Make your nose your slave. The Nostrum Master, that is going to be me. I'm working on it. Just keep fussing, and eventually it gets where you want it to be. You don't let it get the best of you. It's like, feels like you're wrestling with a living thing sometimes. Ah. Only Christmassy mug I have. Let it snow. I don't think it's gonna snow before Christmas. I don't think we're gonna have a white Christmas this year. It's okay. I'm fine with that. Oh, need to go to sleep? Absolutely. Mr. Bug, get some rest. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Yes. Oh. Oh boy. Man, I'm tired, and it's only like, what time? 8:30 here? I don't know how you guys do the super late streams. I think I'm just too much old lady, maybe. I don't know. Sorry, Intuition, you censored. That's okay. I love it. Alright. I probably should switch to doing some outer things now, but you know, whatever. What was I gonna do? There was a thing? Ah, okay, sure. Maybe have it. Between the lip and that part of the nose, just this like section here, right there, it's giving me fits. It's gonna make me a crazy person. And maybe it's not even as big of a deal as my brain thinks it is. I just keep focusing on it. I mean, probably. That would be right. I didn't even put all that much paint on my palette, but I'm sure not going through it in a hurry today. Doing this kind of work. It's like mixing a little bit of color and then just using barely a little bit. Alright, maybe I draw back in. Do I draw back in the axe now, or am I going to regret it and paint over it again? I think I'm gonna blame the tiredness on the whole post-drum thing. It could make me a little extra loopy and spacey. For a second I thought I made a mark where I wasn't supposed to. Okay. I am going to not do more on the face right now. I kind of want to... feel like some things might be starting to get a little flat again, so... yeah, I need to bring up some highlights, kind of keep, even more so, keep things from getting flat here. So I will do that, not now because I think I'm losing my mind, but then I will paint back in the axe. And what looks like just a dirty smudge will be a thing. That makes sense. But in the meanwhile... ooh, that just reminded me of a song from the 90s by Space Hog. Anybody remember Space Hog? In the meantime, I think they were a one-hit wonder, and I believe and stuff. Random things that bring you to random things. Deep Thoughts with Lynell Ingram. During my live stream where I attempt to not drink paint water. I really should be more careful with my easel. I do enjoy how hot this red color can get as a pink. That's kind of great. It's not as opaque as it normally would be because I added in that slow drying medium. It's okay because this is all going to be more layers of things. So I kind of go back and forth between building up on my main subject, working on getting her to where I want her to be, and working on things that are part of the background. There's a lot of back and forth. Until everything gets pretty close to the end goal. And I don't have exactly the picture in my head of where it's going to go. I have like approximate ideas of things I want to incorporate and do. So it will be... we'll be getting there with just layers. Maybe look how freaking hot colored that is. It's crazy. It's not gonna stay quite like that right there. Anyway. I think I want to add in the flowers because that ties into the storybook element also. So I'm going to get these ready to in here. And then I'm going to give it kind of a rough cut out to decide where to put it. As the part of the story, Red Riding Hood ventures off her path to pick flowers at the wolf's suggestion. And even though I doubt that it was long stem red roses, I still like the red. I like connotation, the modern day meaning. What do the flowers represent? So it's a combination of that callback to the story and the kind of rebukement of like the savior figure, the knight in shining armor. It's a little twofold in the fact that the flowers that I'm using are red roses, which I think is a much more modern meaning. I don't think that long stem roses, aren't they relatively newer? Like kind of bred to be what they are now? I'm not sure. I could be wrong. I was gonna go very rough with it, but I kind of like the little rough edges on the leaves, a little like spiky edges. And I said spiky, and I immediately, in my head, the radio channel changed, and it went to Guinea Puppy song from The Process that has a sample of some guy saying spiky black heart edge, and I actually don't know what it's from. I never thought about it or looked into it or came across the thing. Anyway, random distractions of the way that my brain goes. I got married in a rose garden. Should have known he was a wolf. Ah! Radio in your head, mine is always on. Oh, yeah. And it is the weird thing of like a word just swaps the station, just bam, something else starts playing. Yeah, I hear you about that. I was married once, and actually it was also in a horticultural center of places, and I believe there were storms and hail on that day. Think that was a good sign? Not so much. Anyway, yeah, I don't usually talk about that. Millions of years ago. Ancient history. Okay, this is way more fussy than I expected I would be. We're getting there. How exciting! I'm cutting out flowers. Isn't that fun to watch? Sorry, y'all. Boring moment here. Let's make it exciting. We can bet. Will I cut myself? Shoot, I shouldn't have said that. Jinx. Alright. Oh my god, almost there. So close. Oops, there goes a petal. Too bad. There. Good. Good enough. Hurry that process again. Alright. Not here to invoke more info out of you, just share. But I should have picked up on the red flags. On the night he proposed, I had such a bad headache, not even painkillers dealt with it. Never had a headache like that before, couldn't enjoy the night. Oh man, yeah, that could be a migraines can definitely be a somatic thing. So that's certainly, like, in terms of physical presentation of what's going on in our minds. 2 different anniversaries. We went off to have a weekend away. One day before weekend, I slipped on a wet stair and nearly break my back. Oh my god. The second time I got the worst food poisoning of my life. Oh my god. Was cursed. That's terrible. I'm sorry. But yeah, I mean, it sort of becomes this, like, at least we made our mistakes, yeah? Maybe? Yeah, there's red flags for sure. But, you know, young and stupid, young and naive. You always think things will be different or better, or that the awful things aren't going to happen. But come out on the other side. Much better. Yeah, what the hell? The universe was saying, no, Scar, don't, right? Yeah, quite a few similarities. Yeah, I hear ya. Alright, what did I do with my medium? I don't think you're gonna stay there. I think this is where we're gonna go. So I think you could still tell that, you know, I'm taking off this little weird petal that's sticking out on the side. This little tiny bit there. I'm gonna take that off. It sticks out weird. Oh, there's Watson. Hello, Mr. Watson. Are you here because it's getting close to your dinner time? Yeah. He gets a late, like, before bed meal. Keep him happy through the night. We started doing that when we first brought him home. He gets 9:30, his last meal of the day. So that's why it comes around about now. Thinking about that. I also don't want to cover it too much. I think right about here, maybe. That will work. I like it. I think we're going with it anyway. Almost too late to change our minds. So there it is. What you doing? Hi. Did you come to say hi? Aw, rubbing on my feet. That's so cute. I know, how can I possibly ignore him when he's being so cute? That just isn't fair, is it? Come here. Alright. Ugh. Come here. Ugh. My giant baby. Hey, say hi to everybody. You're very cute, I know. And I bet you're hungry. You think you're hungry, don't you? Yeah. Oh. Little grunts. The Watson cameo. It's been a while since he made a cameo, hasn't it? Yeah. All the purrs. All the cat hair on the face. Here it is. Yes. We're getting there. We are. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, the flowers work. That was also from an old mag. That was from one of the really old magazines. So you can kind of tell that it was like maybe a duotone print. There's red and there's green over like a very basic CMYK. I think Watson is bigger than your dog. He's about 16 pounds. Yeah, you're Watson. You gotta say hi. Say hi to Hoosiers and to Planet Terra Art. Hello. That's my good boy. He's my big guy. He's 16 pounds, so he is kind of a big cat. But he's not like, he's not even overweight. He's just a big guy. Oh my gosh, his hair is sticking to my nose and making it itch. Yeah. Oh. Making silly faces. Oh, you're such a ham. You know that you're on camera, do ya? So you're being super sweet. You're so cute. Oh my goodness. Now my glasses are all smudged up and my nose itches from cat hair. Alright, I gotta put you down. I can't paint when I'm holding you, not very easily. Alright. Is that okay? Sorry, cat intermission. Okay. Oh, down you go. There's my squats for the day. Cat hair. Why does it always stick to the nose? And naughty cat robes. They're adorable. But R.I.P. glasses. Okay. And I used to, before I got this easel, I would sit on the floor and paint a lot. Very ergonomic, you know. You would often be wanting to help. So we've had to have some talks about his role in the studio. I occasionally have to put the keyboard to the side because he likes to walk across the desk. And he has on one or two occasions actually like switched scenes or done goofy things on the stream. So I have to be careful about that. So it's not just me. It's me and the cat that are the walking disasters around here. And he is hilarious because he's Abyssinian. And they say with the Abyssinian cats, the females are very, very, very graceful. But he is not the female, he is the male. And they say that even in the species, the males are not at all. And it's really true. He's like me. There's like no spatial awareness in this little butt. When he's playing, he'll like crash into furniture and stuff and give himself a ringer, you know, against a table or a shelf. And poor guy. He's just just no abandon. Just goes for everything. It's really cute. Yes, he is my assistant. He is very, very fussy and sometimes difficult assistant that's very hard to keep on task. All right. Now, where are we? Make some green. And this will probably mostly get covered up too, but I kind of want to start getting more of this area filled in just so I can start looking at it as a whole in terms of values. I gotta decide if there's any more I want to add in terms of like the collage elements. I do have some things in mind for like drawing in. As more like I need to have more of this like closer to being set before I'm gonna do that. Gosh. Right now I have a fan that like rotates and all the way around. Every now and again it just like blows my shirt out and it's very weird, and then it almost gets in the paint. Studio assistant is also very demanding. He's a good yeller, that one. He can really carry, his voice carries like crazy. You're talking about values, finally learning and understanding value and color. I feel like I've unlocked a whole new site. Yeah, it's It's, I think, almost the most important, one of the most important things in terms of building a composition, especially. Controlling your focal point. It really makes a big difference to be able to use that to help control things. Now, instead of getting annoyed why I think things don't pop, I know, yes, yes. Those moments, those aha moments, kind of the best. I still have them constantly. You would think that, like, with the experience and things and the amount of time I've been doing this, that I would have all that stuff down, but I don't. I'm constantly relearning and learning new things that I've maybe even known on some level will suddenly click and make sense in some different context. But there's so much that I have to admit that I don't know, that I haven't known. And I feel like I'm always playing catch up. I think that there's like a certain amount of like been able to figure things out just intuitively kind of figure out why something's not working a little bit, but it also makes things so much more difficult and so much more of a struggle until that point that you're like, that's it, that's why, that's the thing I've been struggling with. I used to really, really struggle with backgrounds for the longest time. Well, now my backgrounds are pure chaos, but it's done, but I can do it in a way that, and I talk about it a lot when I'm just working and what I'm thinking through, where it's adding all these things and yet still trying to control, if nothing else, the focal point. And you can even control a little bit like how the eye travels around. Which, if you're doing like a graphic novel, comic book type work, you want to have that, like obviously panels will do some of that, but even if you're doing a complicated scene where you don't necessarily, you're not using the panels or you're breaking panels, you can still control how people read it. Right, it's a constant never-ending learning and reflecting. That's why I love it. I've been writing for 30 years and I still feel like I only just got a grasp on writing well. I hear you on that. I hear you on that 100%. I'm with you. And that's the trick of it though, isn't it? Like, to be learning. Like, how boring if we weren't. If after all this time, if I were still doing the same stuff that I was doing years ago at any given point in time. How boring. Constantly, like, I'm not a big traveler, but constantly learning and trying and doing here in my studio even can be such an adventure, even in and of itself. Kind of build your own worlds. So I'm not too worried with what I'm doing now. I just want, like I mentioned, I just want to start seeing how things are going to relate to each other, because I don't do color mock-ups beforehand. I wish I had the the patience and the just focus to do that kind of thing, but I mean, just quite frankly, I don't. And then even if I did it and I tried to do it, I would probably just change everything once I actually got in and started painting anyway. I'm not one to follow a plan much. So, it's the adventure. color up the dude's thumb there. Well, it's not too much. Oh, I know. I know. Oh my goodness, we're past your lunch or dinner time, aren't we? Whatever meal of the day it is. Oh. Try to get on a chair, but it's covered in wrapping paper. Sorry, baby. Yeah, one thing, studio room very easily becomes kind of like a dumping ground, a catch-all for stuff that's like in staging, like not ready to be put away, or has a home that don't know what that home is going to be. So it's a lot of things just end up here, clogging up the space. It's annoying. Your ADHD, let's go paint. My autism, okay, let me write up a 12-month plan. First with every detail included. Yeah. It'll make it crazy, I'll make it crazy. There are some instances in which I like to plan. I am as opposite from a type A person as a person can be. To very much my partner's frustration, and probably everybody else in my life's frustration. To sometimes my frustration. But it is okay. I just very much like if I know about myself that if I allow perfectionism in the door, it just means nothing's happening. Because I can't put the steps into place. I can't. So it's been a real deliberate effort to try and let go of that, all those, that kind of expectation on myself. It might be crap. It's okay. Totally okay. Crap's fine. Still learn something from crap. You can always adjust it over crap. Or you just mess around with it until you get it where you want it. Maybe. Sometimes. Or not. And it's all okay. That's episode number 3 of Deep Thoughts with Lynell. Of course, frustration, but you're doing the best you can. That's what you gotta figure out. That's why I just care for all, because I know a lot they don't even know they're doing, and we're all doing our best. It's the truth. It's just figuring out what works for you. What can get you past the hurdles. And I will be the first to admit that while I have figured out some of those things for myself here in the studio, there's a whole lot of areas of my life which I have not figured out how to apply those lessons to. And usually you don't even realize that it is like in a different context you could just be applying those same lessons. There's so often that you just have that kind of blindness because the context is different. But yeah, as you said, you are exactly right. We do the best we can and figure it out, hopefully, along the way. Uh-oh. I'm not a scratching post, you know. Hi, cutie. I know, I've only cut like half your nails, so you gotta be careful. Okay. And that helps me to see a little bit. I actually don't hate the color, but it's just very messy right now. And it just absolutely brings home how flat a couple of these areas have gotten. So we'll tack those in the next stream, I suppose. You're such a naughty little guy, mister. You're wiping your nose on mama. Yeah, okay. We're in the chair here. See if I can turn it. Here, see? Look again. Yeah, I think that this, yeah, we'll call it about here. Long way to go, but making progress. And I'm pretty happy. Okay. And, oh. What's the big lesson thing that you do in your art that you love to carry over into your rest of your life? I think it, well, for one, the letting go of like black and white, the perfectionism, black and white thinking about things. That paralysis that comes with it. That's a big one. I'm very surprised at how much the green suits and really pulls her forward. Okay, no big questions before you wrap up. No, I appreciate all your input and your questions and everything. Yeah, it's I think that I do agree. Like the value is what he's doing things on my keyboard that's like we're making selections on my Photoshop document. Anyway. Hey, silly guy. Yes. All right. Pick this up on Thursday morning, 10 a.m. Central Time, which is if you are in the Midwest and Central Midwest of the United States. Otherwise, hopefully, the scheduler should show your local time. And hopefully I'll see you then. I gotta go feed the cat, wash my brushes. He's giving me these faces. It cracks me up. Yeah, thank you to everybody for hanging out during the stream and watching me paint and making progress. All right. Have a great night. Have a great week. I will see everybody on Thursday, I hope. Bye. Great, I gotta reach around you here. Can I get in here? Oh. I just saw, I don't know if you're still there. Planet Terra Art, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to miss your question. I don't know if you're still here. Do I have an end goal in mind for the painting? It's kind of like, it is a lot closer to me knowing when I'll get there. Like, just in the sense that, when I'm happy with the figure and, yeah, I mean, there are a few things I have in mind for what I know I want to add back in, but by and large, it's just going to be when it feels right. So I hope that answered your question. I hope I didn't miss you on that. I'm sorry that I almost got off of here without seeing your question. But yeah, thank you so much, and have a great night. I will not be here next Monday, but I'm here on Thursday. So, okay, bye.